Well, hey guys, welcome back to Love Datsun's Garage. Yeah, I forgot something to check on the last one, and let me show you what I missed. Okay, in the last video you saw me spinning the fan around to check the fan clutch. And there was one more thing I was supposed to do, which I didn't do, and that was to grab the fan and see if you can move it back and forth. And as you can see, it's moving back and forth. So the bearing and the seal are shot. Right after I called my son-in-law to come pick up his truck, it had a puddle under it. So we ordered up the parts, and we're going to change that water pump. Let's go. And as you can see, there's not a lot of room between the fan and the radiator. So yep, we're going to pull that radiator back out and do it right. Alright, so my son-in-law ordered a new water pump, and this is kind of what you get. Comes with the fan clutch, the pulley, and the pump. And it's even got a long bolt sticking in it already. So I don't know how these are put together, but this is how they sell them. And oddly enough, there were only two non-AC pumps available, and the rest of them were all with air conditioning. So I'm not sure what the difference is, but I guess there weren't as many cars with air conditioning, so they got tons of those. Anyway, let's go. Alright, so the first thing I did was disconnect the battery, of course, and went ahead and drained the radiator. I'm not going to bore you with pulling the radiator. Ouch. I'm not going to bore you with pulling the radiator out again, because we already did that. So I'll bring you back when we're on that water pump. Well, alright, that took all of about 5 minutes. So there it is. We can get to everything easy now. I think first I'm going to take the fan off, then we'll loosen the belt, and then we'll have access to the water pump bolts. So let's get going. Alright, the water pump is ready to come out. It looks like we got 5 or 6 bolts. They're all either 12 millimeter or 10 millimeter. So let's pull that out. Well, there you go. Most of the coolant is out of that block now. We just have to clean those surfaces up, and we'll be putting it back on. Now they tell you to compare the water pumps, the old one to the new one, and you can see the old one here. This is probably a cast iron impeller, real thick. This is just a stamped steel one, so it's going to work, but this will not last as long as that one did. But really, the impeller didn't fail, the seal and the bearing did. So let's get this thing cleaned up, and we'll start putting it back together. Alright fellas, I used just about everything I had to get that gasket material off, and I used my rethreading kit. I went over the bolts and ran in the holes as best I could. The long bolts my rethreader wouldn't reach. But there it is, all cleaned up. We're about ready to put the new water pump in. So let's do that. Alright, so let's put some silicone on. Just a light coat. Can't really get the dexterity here with the rubber glove. I'm going to take it off. I need to feel my work. Okay. By the way, a big shout out to my buddy LT with his new garage. He's having some fun out in the garage, and can't wait for him to get his love on the road. I consider my love as my mental health therapy, and whenever I'm feeling down, I just go for a cruise. Not that I ever feel down. Alright fellas, we got silicone everywhere. Now I'm going to clean that one more time with the brake clean and dry it, because there's still a little coolant coming out. That needs to be pretty dry. So let me hit it one more time. Want that to be real dry when you put that on there. It's about as clean as it's gonna get. Should be fine. That big beautiful bolt goes right up there on top. And then we got our dowel pins on there to line her up, and it's stuck. Well, alright fellas, the GoPro was overheating, so I just kind of threw the radiator back in, got it all bolted up. Everything is in. Boy, I'm starting to think that fan clutch was bad after all, because this thing is pretty tight. But it's brand new, so maybe that'll work itself out. But I'm really glad I did this again, because I noticed another problem. If you see these hoses, I don't know if you could see them in the camera very well, but these are fuel lines, and they are split to all get out. So this might have saved this truck, because I can imagine those would have just started spraying gas everywhere, and this thing would have burned to the ground. So I'm off to the auto parts store, and we're going to fix one more thing before we're done. Alright fellas, we got all those fuel lines replaced. This stuff's only a year old. I don't know how old that other stuff was. It wasn't looking good. But I've got everything back together. I'm going to let that silicone set up 24 hours, and then I'll fill it up tomorrow, and we'll take it for a test drive. Alright fellas, well, it's the next day. Kind of been waiting for a thunderstorm to go by, and let's get this thing filled up before the sun comes out and the humidity goes through the roof. So let's go. Alright, it's topped off, the battery cable's on. Let's fire it up and see thermostat on. One more. Alright, fellas. That fan was spinning a lot faster than it was before. So, yeah, I think we're good. The only thing I'm going to hold it back until I can check the fuel lines back at the gas tank. That's my big concern at this point. But I think I don't see any leaking anywhere. So, yeah, let's take it for a cruise. Well, alright fellas, that's going to do it for Love Datsun's Garage for this video. I do appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. And we did go over 1,200 subscribers, so I appreciate that. And we'll see you next time. By the way, the gas tank hoses in the back were fine, so we're all good. See you next time.